So, does life really get better when you get sober? I just want to explore that today in this video. First, if you haven't met me, my name's Christina. I'm a holistic health and recovery coach. And if it's your first time here, I invite you to hit the subscribe button, and I'm just going to dive right in. So, when you first start going to recovery meetings, maybe you've put the drink down already, maybe you've surrendered and decided to get sober, maybe you're just exploring what sobriety might look like, but you're still drinking. People there will tell you that keep coming back, it just keeps getting better. Life will just get better. Life gets better and better. The best is yet to come, right? So it's part of the promises. You put the drink down and your life starts to improve. And that is true. Because when we put the drink down, the first thing you might start to notice is like not waking up with a hangover first is great. Like life is better already when you're not waking up with a hangover, especially if you got yourself to the point where you were experiencing the DTs and having to drink alcohol in the morning to just take the shakes away. When physical compulsion is so bad that you have to have alcohol in your system to survive, and withdrawal from alcohol is very, very dangerous. It could actually kill you. So waking up without a hangover is in itself like life is better just doing that. Life is also better because you start to sleep better. You start to feel better. You start to maybe come out of your shell more. You just start to feel a little bit more comfortable in your skin, right? You're surrounded by people who are just like you, so you feel safety. So there's a lot of reasons why life gets better in the beginning. And we ride on this pink cloud for a while and we just keep things really simple and we just focus on not drinking one day at a time. And so life does get better. We're not in trouble all the time. Not everybody is worrying about us all the time. We're not in jail. We're not in rehabs. We experience a little bit more freedom. There's a lot that happens. But as we continue on our recovery journey, does life really get better for everyone? I mean, not necessarily. And some may disagree with me, and that's totally fine. But the way that I see it is, we can be sober and not drinking, but also like really unhealthy. And so for me, life started to get better when I took care of not only my mind, but my body and my spiritual health. All three: mind, body, soul. And I had to look outside the rooms of recovery for that holistic wellness. It wasn't going to just happen in one room. So we may be sober for a while, but yet we've gained 25 pounds. How does that make you feel? Does that make you feel like life's getting better? You put the drink down, but now you're coping with food. Life is not getting better if you're doing that. You are sober for a while and perhaps your relationship falls apart. I've seen a lot of people in recovery end up getting divorced. And for whatever reason, it could be because the person in recovery becomes so involved in recovery that they just aren't on the same page anymore with their partner. It could be for a million reasons. But not all relationships just necessarily get better because you put the drink down. People get sober and find that they don't necessarily get promoted at work. The miracles don't just happen because you get sober. My point is that life gets better if you do the work. Life gets better if you do the work and you continue to do the work. And that means working on your mindset. That means working on your physical health. And that means working on your spiritual health. So, does life get better if you continue to focus on your wellness, your whole being, okay? Mind, body, and soul, life can get really, really good. But if you are sober and you're continuing to smoke cigarettes, or you are experiencing disordered eating, and you're just coping, finding that fix with a bunch of unhealthy habits, life doesn't get better. Life isn't going to get better if you're not a healthy person. So just think about that if you are on the road to recovery and perhaps you're feeling stuck somewhere. You know, life doesn't get better when we're stuck in complacency. And life doesn't get better when we're just like settling for mediocre. I fell into that trap about 5, 6 years into my sobriety. I completely lost my sense of self because I thought I was ready for a relationship, and I was horrible at that relationship. And my alcoholic tendencies started to flare. My addictive thinking, my addictive behaviors. I had a man who became my alcohol essentially, and I became completely obsessed with everything about this person, about our breakup, about controlling, trying to control what he did and said so that I would feel better. And I completely lost sight of my own life. I couldn't even tell you what I wanted in a man, what I wanted out of my own life. I was lost. I couldn't figure it out. I didn't even know where like to start. Like if somebody asked me that question, it completely threw me off and stressed me out because I knew I didn't know the answer. And I'm just like sitting there thinking to myself, how am I going to figure that out? Like, how am I going to be able to answer that question the next time somebody asks me and actually like feel like I know what my life vision is? I don't even know who I am anymore. And I've seen a lot of people in recovery like lose their way. You know, they're not drinking, but they lose their way. They lose their sense of self. They don't know what their purpose is. They become depressed. They lose their self-confidence. You know, if you put on 25 pounds, you're probably looking in the mirror with self-hatred and self-loathing, which is what we did when we were drinking. So we need to work vigilantly. It's a daily reprieve. And we need to continue to work on our health, mind, body, and soul. We have to continue to work on our self-development. And if you like living a mediocre life, then that's fine. I mean, I'm not going to judge your choices of how you want to live. But I just want you to understand that when people say life just keeps getting better, it does if you do the work. That's all I have for you today. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, go ahead and do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.